My name is Kishan here. I'm the founder of this forum called as Education Network Forum, and we are India's first online business forum for all education business owners only. So, just to give you a prelude about what we do, we are a forum where we, as such, invite all businessmen in the education businesses. We meet once a week. We network with each other and exchange business referrals at no cost. We are close to around 50 plus members across 5 to 6 cities, and we've been able to exchange businesses close to around 17 lakhs in last 1.5 years. So coming to the point which was given to me is the effective collaboration between schools, colleges, and tech companies. So before I start, I would like to probably tell you that it's everyone's duty as of now in India to only follow our big man, what he's doing. When I say the big man, it's Mr. Narendra Modi. So if you see, he is only doing a networking and collaboration between countries. So we, all the people here who are here, we only have to start networking and collaborating. To add to what Shaishav said, the future is going to be collaboration, and we have to look at probably growing more with collaborating rather than telling that I will be doing everything. So that's probably the first point what I've showcased there. If you take the second point, schools concentrate on curriculum but can extend their services to 20 to 30% skills. So if you see most of the schools, if you take the workload of the teachers, they are totally tied up with their day-to-day curriculum, doing a lesson planning and all those things. They're already tied up with a lot of things. So if we are expecting them to do lot more job, it is not very ideal that they can do those things. So the way that we'll have to impart a lot of knowledge for the children in the schools, and which will enhance the children's skills and also the level of the schools. End of the day, most of the schools need more children, more admission. So how do you do that? The way to do that is give them the best of the knowledge what you can. And when you're trying to give them the best of the knowledge, you can't probably squeeze in max from the teachers, because that 8 hours of what they do is much more what they can do. They can't go beyond that, because doing a lesson planning, arranging for their exams, doing the corrections, a lot, of course, technology has come, but though the technology has come, there is a human intervention also there. So having all these things, they can't do a lot more than the curriculum. So it is always very important that whatever limitation of skills that the schools can do, they'll have to do, and post that they'll have to look at collaborating with the edtech companies. Probably the third point is schools and colleges can work together in instilling the category and industry specific knowledge. See, we all have seen that most of the lessons or the subjects, I don't say the subject exactly, the lessons and the topics which are covered in the textbook as of now may not be very, very relevant to the industry, or they may not take this to their career going forward. So it is very important that they start giving the knowledge which is industry specific and the need for the hour, and as per the market requirement. That way, if schools start doing that in the early age, okay, that will carry on, and the colleges, the lecturers at the college will be much more easier to give them the advanced knowledge of the same category or the industry specific, rather than probably giving a lot of knowledge just because it has been come with the syllabus, and year on year the same syllabus has been turned on, and we are just giving it. It is the days have gone by just giving the knowledge of some history and all. Of course, it is required, but up to a certain level. Beyond a certain standard, it is always probably from the high school onwards, it is very important to give a industry specific knowledge. They are giving, it is not enough is what I say, because people are so much dependent on the external factor to get the industry specific knowledge. Why not give those specific or the basic knowledge of those within the curriculum? That will really help them in they enhancing their knowledge through the external factor. And right now, as Shaishav said, or as per the technology, there are a lot of things which is available on the Google or on the internet. But why don't the schools give that basic touch, so that even though they browse on the internet, they will start enhancing their language because they already know the basics. Okay, and of course edtech companies are always there to support. So if you assess, see, this is a very homogeneous group where schools give a bit of knowledge, the technology gives an addition information on this knowledge, and probably when they go to the college, the professors who come from reputed universities, who have come from a doctorate or higher designations, these people are well versed in those areas which they can probably start adding to the child's to the students knowledge. So that is something which we will have to look at. And probably coming to the fourth point, edtech companies are one who can add more value to the skill enhancement in children. See, it is a boon or a bane is a very debatable question about edtech companies which has come up now. If your assets see, in some or the other ways, it is really a boon, because the remotest people or the children who could not come out due to the health reasons in last 2 years probably could not have just sat at home just because they don't want to look at the screen. Okay, if that was the case, 2 years would have been very challenging, but this technology has helped. And of course, on the other side, if you see, the edtech companies have started helping a lot of students and children to start thinking out of the box. I'm sure most of us had these skills within us, but earlier, 2 years back or 4 years back or 5 years back, why aren't we using these skills? The only reason is that there was no mechanism, or there were no people who would start thinking out of the box to pull out that skills. So I was probably, I sometimes share this probably this liner with a lot of people, telling that if you see, if you just take an example of probably Lata Mangeshkar or S.V. Balasubramaniam or Sachin Tendulkar or Amitabh Bachchan, I'm sure these people did not probably go to school very diligently and studied a lot, or they didn't go to college, or they didn't do their degree or higher PG course and all. But if you assets see, they gave a lot of time for their skills. Aren't they living now? And aren't their skills giving their bread and butter, and much more than bread and butter? But if you assets see, most of other people who have not seen skills as the most important, and most of the parents also, where they see that exclusively only a engineering or a medical will earn money to you. Other than that, anything won't earn the money. So these are the challenges. So this is where we all have to come out and start looking at giving that extra value for the children through the edtech companies. And so the last one, we are all happy to welcome the edtech companies which started in last 2 years, which is opening the minds of the children. So it is very important that it is a triangle where schools and colleges are on the same bread. The institutions, the edtech companies, and the parents work together, where we give out a good output of children only when all these three are there. Earlier, I mean, we can't keep telling that no, earlier didn't children study, or didn't they come out, did they excel? Yeah, those were the days. Yes, they were. But with the technology improvement, with the kind of challenges, with the kind of probably the movement, the weather, the movement of traffic, considering all these things, the technology is very important. Okay, when the technology is important, it is very much needed that we have to get accustomed to it, get used to it. See, for example, if you take up the session now, what we are doing, just in case if we all had to meet in person and do it, would that be possible? I don't say no, it is yes. But the challenges what we would be facing with everyone's time being very busy. So we have technology in place. So this is where the collaboration and the networking comes into place. And I would like to end my talk by telling that we have to get collaborated and we have to network to grow together and see to that we all come with the flying colors. Thank you.